Hello and welcome back to another episode of Internal Rambles. This is your girl, Rochelle, and we are back with another reality show recap, continuing to recap and review Ready to Love Season 11 in Detroit. This is going to be a recap and review of episode 3. The mixers are over, and hopefully, we will begin to see the singles getting to know each other and building connections. Okay, so let's not wait or hesitate. Let's get straight on into the episode 3 recap, which was titled Tommy's Skate Jam. Okay, so the episode begins at a local skating rink. We see nephew Tommy, and he says that it's time for the singles to dig deeper. He brings in the singles from the second mixer, and there are 18 singles left total. We see the singles and they're skating, they're having a good time, and then some of them break off and start having solo conversations with each other. First up, we see Chef Chris, and he is talking to Shannon, who is 35 and a registered nurse. He calls her regal, and she really appreciates that because some people in her past have called her pretentious, which she does not obviously believe that of herself. And she believes and that her connection with Chef Chris is blossoming. So we will have to see if anything comes of her connection with him. Next up, Donna, who is a mathematician, and she pulls Darius aside and she says to him that her first impression of him was not good, that he does not seem authentic, and that her impression of him was very off putting, and that he seems to be playing a persona, that when she met him at the first mixer, he seems to be playing a person and playing up a persona. Darius says that he disagrees. This is the exotic car owner, that he didn't really even get a chance to really have a conversation with her, that she doesn't know him, and that she's prejudging him without really really getting a chance to get to know him. Donna says that she's not the only one that feels that way, that other women feels this way about him, but she is just the only one that has been able to tell him this. So I agree with Donna. I mentioned this in my first review that Darius seemed very arrogant. He seemed to be almost playing a character, and that he was kind of off-putting. So I can totally understand the perspective that Donna had. So we will have to see more what's going on with Darius, but obviously they're not a match because her perspective of him was pretty negative, and he did not obviously appreciate her calling him out on that. So we will have to see. After the couples have skated a little bit, Tommy Miles comes back, and he shares that this week the men are in power and that a woman will be going home. And so after this, we see Darius talking to Ashley, and he tells her that he believes that her toes are very suckable. And this happens every season, at least in the most recent seasons. Somebody's always talking about sucking toes. And I'm like, child, I personally really don't want to hear about that. But, anyways, Darius shares that he has 4 children. Ashley does not have any children, and she wants 2 to 3 children. He's open to that. He's open to having more children. He's really feeling Ashley, so we'll see what happens with them. So that's it for the skate jam. Not a lot that happened, but it's still really only early on, and they're all just really trying to get to know each other. So at the mixer, Tommy instructs the men to not just only continue getting the women that you really like also explore women that maybe you didn't hit it off well with initially, but you are curious about. So with that instruction, Chef Chris sets up a date with himself, Emily, Vince, and Nicole. And Emily, before she goes into the date, she says that she hopes that things go well and that Vince doesn't trigger her because he tends to say things that upset her. He can be very inconsiderate and very rude, and she hopes that she doesn't have to cuss him out. And like I mentioned in my first review, Vince is just annoying. He thinks he's a comedian and he's not very funny all the time. So I can totally understand where Emily is coming from. As soon as she comes into I think they were having like drinks or lunch or whatever, she tells Vince immediately that he owes her an apology. He immediately says, I'm sorry. They break off. Emily and Vince, they have a disagreement about parenting. Vince shares that he has a teenage daughter and he feels as though, his daughter is always going to want to be around him even when she gets older and breaks away for college. And Emily basically tells him, what, just wait for it. She's going to want to have her own life. She's going to, basically want to have her own independence, etc. He took it as her telling him what to do and giving him directives. And I think she was just trying to give him some insight because she has an adult son and also she's a high school teacher. I don't think she really was trying to tell him what to do, but also they don't get along. So I kind of think that no matter what their conversation was going to be, they would have a disagreement and butt heads anyway. Also, later on in the episode, we have Ed and Donna. They go out on a date and Ed asks Donna what her growing up, what did, if any, did religion play a part in her upbringing? And she says that Christianity wasn't necessarily a part of her upbringing, that she's more spiritual. She doesn't follow any one set religion, that she's open to whatever religion that her partner is following, as long as it's something that encourages them to be a good person, etc. She's okay with it. If her and her partner has children and they want to follow a religion, she's okay with it as long as she is able to expose the children that there are other religions, other options out there. She wants to be able to do that. Ed wasn't really feeling that because he wants to raise his household under one religion, and I'm guessing that must be Christianity because he brought it up, and he doesn't, want it to be a fluid or an open household. So Donna might not be a match for him because she is more open with her religion and she doesn't really follow one set religion. Next up, we have Dominique and Bello, and they seem to really, really hit it off. They connect on a lot of different things. Bello wants children, particularly he wants a son. Dominique is open to having more children. She just wants to be able to use a surrogate because she's had previous miscarriages in the past. Bello is okay with that. One of the things that they discussed is that Dominique is very religious. Her father is a pastor, so that's very important to her. Bello is, and I believe she's Christian. Bello is Muslim, and so he inquired about that, and she's okay with that as long as he's not pushing her to, if they were together, to convert, and having to wear like like the head garment, etc. He said no, that wouldn't be a part of it. But I do wonder, would there be any sort of conflict or any sort of, if there would be an issue if they were together. I wonder. He was making it like, oh, it's fine. But I wonder. And then the last date that we see, is this the last date? Yes, is with Cardi, the 36-year-old insurance broker, and Shannon, Ashley, Ashante, Devin, and Xavier. They go karting. Devin and Shannon split off, and Devin says that he really hasn't had a chance to really get to know Shannon. He's interested in talking to her more. They connect on movies and what they both call their geeky interests. Devin's really into Harry Potter, etc. So they were really cute together. I kind of want to see if how they interact moving forward. Cardi and Ashley, they discuss their love languages, etc. There wasn't really much to talk about there. And last but not least, we see the men in the men's lounge to discuss their connections and who are in their bottom. The bottom two ended up being Emily. They feel like some of the men felt like she was too hypersexual. She leads with her body, with her makeup, and they really couldn't connect with that. And Donna, some of the men just didn't connect with her. Other men had issues that she doesn't follow one religion, and religion is in their faith is very important to them. And Darius felt prejudged by her, so obviously there's no connection there. And ultimately, Emily was sent home, which I mentioned that I wonder if Emily would have a hard time connecting with the men. She seemed rigid with some of the men, having a different time connecting with some of the men. So I'm not surprised that she was sent home. I just think her person, there's nothing wrong with her per se. I just think her man was not on this show. So that was it. Next episode, Tommy is instructing the women to take the men to their Detroit their Detroit spots that mean the most to them. So we will see. Again, this is only episode 3, but so far I am liking the season. I'm seeing some budding connections, but it's still really early on to be like, oh yeah, this person is really gonna, this person is a really great match. And the jury is still out. I don't know about Darius. I don't know about him. And Vince is still, he was okay this episode, but he's annoying. That's neither here nor there, but it's still an issue. I don't really know who he's gonna truly connect with. Though there are people that like him, I don't know. We will see. So that's it. Little podcast programming, note announcement. With this being the holiday week, happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate it. Happy day off or whatever you got going on. If you're traveling, safe travels, etc. I don't know if there's an episode releasing this week with the holiday. Let me see if I can look it up quickly. If there is, with it being the holiday, I don't know when I'm going to be. There may be a delay in me getting the episode out just because of the holiday. So I may have to either get it out really late or let me see, episode 4. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna come out this week. So I'm either going to get it out kind of late because of the holiday or double up, and it may be really super late and not come out there may not be an episode this week and it may come out the following week or etc. So we will see. But I am recording 2 episodes this week. So there will be an episode on Friday the 28th, And that's going to be finally an entertainment, just discussing some entertainment news. So you will get, if there's no episode next week, hey, I'm doing 2 episodes this week. So I haven't done an entertainment news episode in a very, very long time. So it's going to be talking about what's happening in music, etc., TV. And I'm going to be discussing my thoughts on this most recent season of Married at First Sight. So be on the lookout for that. That's coming. That will be released on Friday the 28th. So that's that. Quick programming note. Okay, y'all? Again, have a safe holiday. Happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate it. Take care of yourself. Self-care is very important. Let me know what you are thinking about this season. Are you liking it? Do you see some early connections? Let your girl know. Subscribe to me so that you get these episodes when they release. And until next episode, this is your girl, Rochelle.